Hello everybody, and welcome to my 100th, turned 151, turned 200 subscriber special. Originally this video was meant to be just a 100 subscriber special, but well, we're at 200 subscribers now, so that's a bit late. But thank you all so much. I seriously don't know why all of you care about my videos so much, but it truly touches my cold, dead, shriveled up heart. Thank you. A while ago, I saw a video by fakemon, in which he drew fan-submitted Pokemon to celebrate hitting 100 subscribers. And I thought, I wanna do that too. So I'll be celebrating this relatively unimpressive milestone by drawing the Pokemon that you all wanted me to draw. I asked you guys in my last video, as well as a cursed poll, what Fakemon IDs you all had that you wanted me to draw. In that video I said I'd do about 6 Pokemon max, but I wasn't actually expecting to have 6 people respond whatsoever. But boy was I wrong. Quite a few people responded pretty enthusiastically, and many people had more than one good ID. So I'm honestly tempted to make a part 2, with all the good ideas you guys had. I'm not exaggerating when I say that you guys had some amazing ideas. But the rule of thumb is show, don't tell. So how about I show you all the amazing Pokemon that you guys came up with. Our first request for today is also the most recent one as of writing this, and comes from Minccinoshiny, who asked me, "Hey Gary, there's an animal popularly known as a flower mouse. They're little mouse that climb flowers looking for pollen, but they eventually fall asleep inside the petals. I've always thought they would make great Pokemon, so here's my idea." By the way, I absolutely love Puppo, and of course Zapporo is cute enough, he's adorable. First of all, thank you. And second of all, I really adore the image of a snug little mouse wrapped in a flower. So I wanted to do this one. And after some thinking, I got a brilliant idea. So, Minccinoshiny, I'm safe to assume you are an enjoyer of Cinccino? Because I'm gonna make a regional variant. So, I'm making a regional variant of Cinccino based on the Erythraean flower mouse, also known as the harvest mouse. I started off by copying the main body of Cinccino, which would go practically unchanged. However, next up, I wrapped it up in petals and leaves all around it. I wanted it to resemble a sleeping bag kind of, but a little looser to keep an interesting silhouette. The petals would be wrapped tightly around the heads, and on top of the head I decided I wanted a petal which resembled an iconic nightcap. Giving Cinccino colors was actually pretty fun, and I almost immediately got the ones I wanted. Pastel pink and green for the flowers, and a dark reddish brown for the body, just like the real harvest mouse. Finally, I changed up its expression a little so that it looked extra snug and sleepy. She's an eepy little ouse. In a distant region with beautiful flowers, you can find Cinccino.
Cinccino, the sleeping bag Pokemon. When a Minccino comes upon a specific flower, it cozily wraps itself within the petals. The special pollen in the flower puts it to sleep and causes it to evolve. The flower and the Cinccino share a symbiotic relationship. Cinccino carries the flower around, spreading its pollen. In turn, the sleep-inducing pollen protects Cinccino.
It has the ability Cute Charm, and the hidden ability Snooze Pollen, which has a 30% chance of putting the opponent to sleep upon contact. It also has the hidden ability Skill Link. While it becomes a grass type, it stays a normal type, because ultimately it's still a regular little mouse wrapped up in flowers. I imagined it to evolve from a regular Minccino, with a special flower instead of a shiny stone. This Pokemon is the perfect example of why I wanted to do this video so badly. I would never have made a Cinccino regular variant like this, and I certainly wouldn't have thought of the idea of mixing it with a Harvest Mouse if it wasn't for Shiny Minccino's request. So thank you so much for your comments, and I hope you're happy with Cinccino. The next request is by Rorororo. Rororor 12, I think, who asked me, "Hey there, here's a concept for your fan-made region. Healer Bees. I'm thinking of giving your region's Nurse Joy a new Pokemon companion. It will be a yellow bee with an abdomen that looks like a syringe. We can say that this Pokemon helps other people by injecting nutritional honey to heal injured Pokemon, but can change it to poison when aggravated. A nod to the term killer bees. But generally, they usually have a gentle disposition. My first thought was to create a microscope Pokemon, in honor of Sir Anthony van Leeuwenhoek, the father of microscopy. But I was stumped until I settled for a syringe. It's medically related, so I went for that instead. Hope it helps." Okay, before I continue, I won't be showing any syringes, okay? I know people can be squeamish about those, and I don't blame them. So I love this idea, but sadly I don't think I can put it in the Humblo region, since I already have a bee Pokemon, though maybe I can fit it in there somehow, someday. That doesn't mean I won't be drawing it though, because any excuse to draw a cool bug is a good enough excuse for me. Plus, it's a really cool idea. So I started off with a syringe-like abdomen. I wanted it to be see-through so that you can see the honey sloshing around inside. Though I quickly regretted this decision later. The main body is a little more humanoid, and modeled after a nurse, with the face looking like a classic face mask and that weird thing that they wear on top of their heads. During the design process, I thought of a fun gimmick I could give it. Since Roror wanted the honey to be able to change to poison, I thought about giving it two differently typed forms. At first I was thinking of an ability, but later I thought it would be more interesting if it was a special move instead. Drawing the honey inside of it was pretty difficult. I wasn't really happy with the honey I drew on Megalite, so I wanted to try something else. And this was definitely more challenging than Megalite, but I eventually made it work, and I think the honey looks very good, if you ask me. I have a riddle for you. Which Pokemon costs $10,000 to get? Here is Vaxonee, from vaccine, honey, and the E from bee. See, it's an American welfare joke. It's funny, guys. I swear, it's funny. Please laugh.
Vaxonee, the vaccination Pokemon. The honey stored within its abdomen has a powerful healing properties when ingested. It can cure any ailments. Vaxonee can swap out its delicious honey for a deadly poison. When injected, the target's immune system fails completely.
It has a new ability called Antivirus, which works just like corrosion, but instead you can poison types. It also has the hidden ability Healer. Lastly, it has a signature move, Venomous Vaccine, a poison type move that changes its form to the poison type variant. It turns back to the fairy type after 3 turns or after switching out. I absolutely adore this design. It's so Gary Core, honestly. A pretty yet intimidating bug girl Pokemon? Yes, please. Thank you so much, Roror, for the suggestion. And I'll consider it as an honorary Humblo region Pokemon. We hope to see you again. Next up is Alicia Huang, 6329, who asked me to draw a new Mega Evolution. They said, my idea of a Mega Fakemon. Mega Slurpuff. Design inspired by Marie Antoinette and the conception of her saying, let them eat cake. Head has a design of wearing a big cotton candy heart-shaped wig, with a pink drizzle of cream. Main body like G-Maxwell Creamy. A tier cake as a dress but wider. The cake body is 3-tier wedding cake. It also holds a paper fan in its design. Also add Queen of Hearts to the design. And then in a second comment they said, extra detail of the red cherry on Slurpuff is off-center to the right, on the wig when Mega evolved. Also, where half of the design is focused on the cotton candy wig, it's loaded with so many forms of sweets, decoration, whipped cream swirls and sprinkles. When I saw this suggestion, I was blown away by how creative and fun it was, and I immediately wanted to get to drawing. I basically followed the instructions provided to me by them. A cotton candy wig loosely shaped like a heart, a layered cake body topped with the delicious whipped cream, toppings and sprinkles. One delicious dessert. One funny thing that happened though, I was already in the middle of designing and sketching Mega Slurpuff when Alicia Huang sent me a second comment asking me if the cherry could be to the right. And lo and behold, my sketch already had it to the right. We're on the same page, you and I. I sadly had to retcon a bit of the design though. I hope you like chocolate, because I couldn't make the cream pink without it blending too much with the pink cotton hair. And the paper fan is also made of chocolate now, to keep the design a little more coherent. I decided the fan would instead be one of the toppings, which it can pull out during some of its animations to use as a paper fan. You know, I'm having a bit of a deja vu here. I mean, I'm making a fairy type kalos Mega Evolution based on Marie Antoinette and the French poof hairstyle. I feel like I've been here before. Anywho, looking delicious as ever, we have Mega Slurpuff. Bon appetit!
Mega Slurpuff, the Maringe Pokemon. Its sense of smell multiplies by 1 million. This useful skill has many positive medical implications. Not just its smell improves, its taste does as well. If it tastes its own sweet and delectable body, it will try to eat itself.
I just had to put in some self-cannibalism if I wanted this to be a good old disturbing Mega Evolution. Mega Slurpuff now has the ability Sweet Fail. When I made my Mega Evolution videos, it was pointed out to me that most Mega Evolutions only have a single ability, which was a minor oversight by me, to say the least. I am very happy with this design. I was never planning to do a Slurpuff Mega Evolution for my Pokemon Legends ZA series, but I'm very glad for Alicia Huang's request, because this turned out to be a really fun design. Thank you so much, and I hope the minor tweaks aren't too disappointing to you. The next request was from... Okay, let's give this a try. Ariel Alejandro del Fabro 1740. Ariel Alejandro del Fabro 1740, who had a plethora of IDs. It was a pretty long comment, but to recap, they wanted a fast special attacking early game Ice type Pokemon, a Pokemon that absorbs some kind of type, similar to Fire Absorb for example, a Gemstone Pokemon which wasn't just your regular generic Diamond or Crystal, for example Lapis Lazuli or Opal. They also wanted a Mega Aromatisse and a Bug-type Convergent Pokemon. I was really tempted at first to make a Mega Aromatisse to fit with Mega Slurpuff, but I didn't want Mega Evolutions to cluster up my video, so I'm keeping that one for a possible part 2, Wink wink. I also wanted to do the ice type, so I could fit that in the Humblo region, but I'll get to that later. So I eventually decided on doing the gemstone Pokemon, specifically Lapis Lazuli. For my idea of a gemstone Pokemon, I went with the Lapis Lazuli mentioned by Ariel Alejandro del Fabro 1740. Lapis Lazuli was the most important gemstone in ancient Egypt, and was often used as decoration. I went deeper with this Egyptian theme and chose to make a scarab-like amulet with a lapis-like abdomen. Its main body will be that of a scarab, but the real body is just the lapis inside. I gave it a cat-like face because of the importance of cats to the ancient Egyptians, and, well, I'll elaborate on this later. Parts of the gem stick out of the gold like cat ears, but they also resemble the patterns on many beetles. The golden cover resembled hair a little, so I decided to run with that. The colors were pretty easy to decide, but to render the gold and the lapis, I had to put in a bit more effort. And here we have Lazuline, from Lazuli and Feline.
Lazuline, the worshipped Pokemon. Within the opulent gem, a playful spirit resides. Ancient people wore it as a good luck charm during traditional ceremonies. It's highly prized. The biggest and most expensive Lazuline resides within the Galarian National Museum, where it is treated with utmost care and respect.
It has the ability Clear Body, Cursed Body, and Perished Body. I hope this scratches your itch for a more unique gemstone Pokemon. Ariel Alejandro del Fabro 1740. Man, you guys have some really difficult names. Remember when I said I'd only do one ID per person? Well... Our next ID comes from Miccinoshiny5772, who said, I have a few IDs. A water ice type lemming, muskrat, beaver with ice teeth. A little grass type chicken with a bush pompadour. A ground steel Spanish conquistador armadillo with a mustache. A regional form of the Pokemon Durant who is ground bug type. There were once again some really fun IDs in here, but I saw the opportunity to mix two IDs at once. Our previous commenter wanted an early game ice type, and Miccinoshiny5772 asked me for an ice water type rodent. So bring on the orange background, because I'm adding a beaver to the Humblo Dex. It'll be the first stage of its evolution line, so I wanted it to be small and cute. I started with a round main body with big icy teeth, which will be the most important part of the design. I did some research into the beaver population of the Netherlands, and it turned out they went extinct here a few hundred years ago, because they got hunted for their pelts. So I'll give my beaver Pokemon a big fuzzy pelt resembling a snug blanket or a winter beanie. It will remain relatively simple for now, small and cute. But in its later evolutions, which will be in another video, it'll be less so. Oh, by the way, for those of you wondering, the beaver has been reintroduced in the Netherlands since, and their population is thriving again. Say hello to Chopchomp from Chop and Chomp.
Chopchomp, the beaver Pokemon. They were once numerous in the Humblo region. However, they were nearly hunted to extinction for their waterproof pelts. In recent times, they've been reintroduced to the wild and are thriving. They are surprisingly sociable creatures. They build their dikes together with their family and prefer to stay together. Their trainer will become their new family.
I'm so glad I could add another Pokemon to the Humblo region in this video. So thanks Miccinoshiny5772 for your request. I'm very glad you and Ariel Alejandro del Fabro 1740 gave me a good excuse to make an early route ice type for the Humblo region. And I hope you enjoyed Chopchomp as much as I do. Cue the Humblo region decks. With Chopchomp added to our decks, we only have one final Pokemon for today's video, and it's a pretty special one. To cap off today's video, I have one final Pokemon. This one was requested to me by a very special person, my lovely girlfriend, Lime the Lime 6041, who asked me, "Congrats on 100 subs, I'm so proud! I have a suggestion." I can't do that voice the entire time. I know this is kind of cursed, but how about a ghost and rock type? So basically, the Pokemon is solid till it gets attacked. I was thinking maybe it could be based on a cat too, since they have incredibly fast reaction time. Also yes, I did draw a mustache on your profile picture. What are you gonna do to stop me, She's my girlfriend, so I am of course contractually obligated to draw this Pokemon. But also, it was a pretty fun concept, and I immediately had some ideas brewing. In fact, let's make an evolution to a Pokemon from earlier in this video. I'll be taking inspiration from ancient Egypt, specifically their cat statues. Many pharaohs upon death would be buried with their cats, who would also get mummified. The first ever mummified cat to be discovered was Prince Thutmose's cat. These mummified remains would then be kept in cat-like statues to preserve them for eternity. This fits Limey's request absolutely perfectly. And on top of that was also a really cool concept. So it's gonna be an evolution to Lazuline from earlier in this video. I admittedly made this one first, and when I got the request for a Lapis Pokemon, I got the idea to make a pre-evolution for it. So that's why I chose for that concept. It's a rock cat statue that can turn its body into its own spirit to evade danger. I gave its eyes golden eyeliner based on the Eye of Horus, an Egyptian symbol which means protection, health and restoration. The neck also has a few gems to make the rock type a bit clearer, and one of the gems is loosely shaped like a scarab beetle, which symbolizes resurrection and transformation, and is also a nod to its pre-evolution. I know the gems are red instead of blue like Lapis Lazuli, but I thought red just looked a lot better than blue. And like I said, I hadn't yet come up with Lazuline. Rising from the death, it's Pharamao, from Pharaoh and Mao, which means son or cat in Egyptian.
Pharamao, the warship Pokemon. In ancient times, it was worshipped by kings for its luck and abilities. This luck, however, is merely its cat-like reflexes. With its extreme reflexes, it alters its body from hard rock to an intangible form. It is believed to be the spirit of a cat Pokemon shackled to an ancient statue.
Just like its pre-evolution, it has the ability Clear Body, Cursed Body, and the hidden ability Perish Body. It's very elegant and pretty, and I hope you all think the same. It feels super ethereal in a sense. And also, Limey, I hope you like it too. She hasn't seen it yet, so I hope she doesn't dump me now. When I draw evolved forms to Pokemon, I usually keep them relatively similar looking to their pre-evolutions. However, this doesn't always happen in Pokemon. So, I'm glad I got some good practice with Pharamao and Lazuline. And if you think that Pharamao and Lazuline aren't related enough, you can say that maybe it's the pre-evolution to some other cat-like Pokemon, which is based on Lapis Lazuli instead. Who knows? Oh, before I go, Limey wanted forced me to show you all this adorable artwork she made for my channel. If any of you want to draw fan art of me, which I doubt, feel free to send it to me on my Instagram, Gary the Muffin. And there we have it, everyone. I'm once again so grateful for the support I've been getting by you all. I've gotten so many kind comments, and it feels really nice having so many people enjoy and appreciate my art. I couldn't be happier with where I am right now on YouTube. Thank you all. I'll definitely think about making a part 2 for this episode, because I had a blast reading and translating your ideas on Canvas. The next episode, however, will sadly be shorter though, if I even manage to get an episode out next week. I have a few exams to catch up on next week, so I should probably focus on that instead of drawing fictional video game monsters. Anywho, have another wonderful day. I've been Gary the Muffin. Gotta catch me later.